Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that, well, almost no one prepares you for when you step into the world of entrepreneurship. Financial PTSD from past business failures.
Hmm.
Now, I know PTSD is a serious word, a very serious
Yes,
word.
it is.
But what the sources reveal, and this is really interesting, is how that profound emotional weight many entrepreneurs feel after significant financial setbacks. Well, it can feel eerily similar.
Yeah, it's not about a clinical diagnosis here necessarily.
No, exactly. It's about that lingering, sometimes debilitating emotional impact.
Right.
And here's where it gets really interesting, I think. It's not really about avoiding failure. We all know that's part of the game.
Yeah, you can't really avoid it entirely.
It's understanding how the most successful entrepreneurs don't just survive it. They actually seem to leverage it, to build something stronger.
That's the key insight, isn't it?
That's what we're after today.
But what's truly fascinating is how the research lays out the symptoms. We're talking about um, a persistent undercurrent of anxiety, almost a hypervigilance around money. You see that a lot.
Constantly watching.
Yeah, exactly. And often there's an avoidance, you know, avoiding new opportunities or risks that might actually be good.
Because of that fear.
That constant nagging fear that history is just going to repeat itself no matter how prepared you think you are this time. It's a deep-seated emotional response that can linger for years.
And it manifests in such concrete ways, doesn't it? I mean, imagine pouring all your energy, your time,
Everything.
every last bit of your own savings into a venture. Maybe you maxed out credit cards, like you said, took on significant personal debt.
Yeah.
The sources even point to losing friendships or real strain on important
Oh,
relationships.
definitely. The personal cost.
Or just a complete erosion of self-confidence. And what I found particularly illuminating was how this isn't just about the money lost, right?
No, it goes much deeper.
It's about those emotional wounds that stick around. Even years later, just the idea of trying again can make your chest tighten.
That physical reaction.
Or you might find yourself, maybe unconsciously, sabotaging a new opportunity before it even gets going.
Exactly. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, this unprocessed trauma, it can silently sabotage future success, just quietly working against you.
How so? Like, specifically?
Well, you find yourself second-guessing every single financial decision, even small ones.
Overthinking everything.
Totally. You avoid taking even calculated risks, the kind that could actually be beneficial for growth.
Right.
And many entrepreneurs describe hoarding cash. It feels safe, like a safety blanket.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they're terrified of investing it because of what happened last time.
So it's a paralysis, almost.
It really can be. And then there's that internal voice. The material describes it well. It's saying, who am I kidding?
Oh, that's rough.
I've already failed once. What makes me think this time will be any different? It's a powerful, self-limiting belief.
That voice can be truly paralyzing, can't it? So, okay, what does this all mean for you listening if you've been there? Or if you're maybe struggling with that lingering shadow right now?
Yeah.
Our mission for this deep dive really is to unpack why this happens and, crucially, how successful entrepreneurs navigate this exact experience.
The how.
Yeah, the how. How do they build their next chapter? Not with panic, but with peace. So let's dig into that. When you're faced with that kind of fallout, emotional, financial, where do our sources suggest you even begin to process it? It feels like such a mountain to climb.
It absolutely does feel like a mountain. And the first crucial step, highlighted again and again in the research, is to actually debrief the failure,
Debrief. Okay.
but not to wallow in it or, point fingers and assign blame.
Right, not just dwelling on it.
No. Treat it like a strategic postmortem, like
Yeah.
you would in any project, really.
Okay, makes sense.
It's about giving yourself permission to process what happened without shame. That's key.
Without shame. That's hard, though.
It is hard, but it means objectively analyzing what went wrong, why it went wrong, and maybe what you did or didn't do with the information you had at the time.
Okay, at the time.
Exactly. It's about understanding that, well, that version of you did the best they could with the information they had. Maybe the timing was off. Maybe the market shifted unexpectedly.
Well, you just didn't know something critical.
Right. You simply didn't know what you didn't know. This isn't about beating yourself up. It's about extracting the lessons. Actually, one article specifically talked about journaling this out.
Writing it down.
Yeah, getting it out of your head and onto paper. It can help externalize that emotional burden, make it feel more manageable.
That makes so much sense. So it's shifting from that self-blame spiral to more of a self-assessment, a clear-eyed look.
Precisely.
But, okay, beyond just understanding the emotional side, How do entrepreneurs then translate those hard-won lessons into concrete, practical steps for rebuilding? Because that fear of investing again or taking on any risk, that can be incredibly strong.
That's where the next phase, sort of practical restructuring, comes in.
Hmm.
The material emphasizes starting small
Small steps.
and strategically. For instance, rather than avoiding all investment, which isn't really feasible long term,
Right.
some successful entrepreneurs talk about making micro investments or taking very cautious, measured risks that align directly with their newly identified lessons.
Okay, so applying the lesson directly.
Exactly. They might, for example, rebuild credit cautiously
Hmm.
or dedicate just a small, non-essential portion of capital to test a new idea, not betting the farm again right away.
Right. Baby steps.
It's about creating new, positive financial experiences, even small ones, to counteract the old negative ones, building new evidence.
Okay.
It's also about identifying specific triggers. What situations really set off that hypervigilance?
Like certain types of deals
Hmm.
or maybe big financial decisions.
Yeah, exactly. And then consciously developing new habits or maybe decision-making frameworks to navigate them differently. One entrepreneur shared how they started reviewing all financial decisions with a trusted, neutral advisor.
Ah, getting an outside perspective.
Yeah, not just for the financial insight, which is
Mhm.
important, but also for the emotional grounding.
Yeah.
Someone say, okay, this fear is understandable, but let's look at the facts.
That's a really smart approach, almost like retraining your financial muscle memory,
That's a great way to put it. Yeah.
But what about that insidious internal voice we talked about earlier, the one whispering, who am I kidding? How do entrepreneurs tackle that deeper emotional baggage? Because that goes beyond just the practical steps of rebuilding finances, doesn't it?
It absolutely does.
That's often the hardest part to shake off.
This is where the really profound mindset shifts, identified in the sources, become critical. A key insight, maybe the key insight, is separating your self-worth from your net worth.
Oof. Easier said than done sometimes.
Oh, definitely. Failure in a business endeavor doesn't mean you are a failure. It means an endeavor failed, and attempts didn't work out.
Right. The project failed, not the person.
Exactly. It sounds simple, but truly internalizing that, it can take time. It takes conscious effort.
Mhm.
The material also highlights the power of celebrating small wins. When you're rebuilding, every successful step, no matter how minor,
Like getting that first new client or hitting a small financial goal.
precisely, each one is a data point against the old narrative of failure. It helps to gradually replace that internal voice of doubt with a new one that acknowledges progress, that says, okay, I can do this,
Building momentum.
building momentum. And some entrepreneurs even practice what one source called pre-mortems, which I thought was fascinating.
Pre-mortems, before starting something new.
Yeah. Before launching a new venture, they actually sit down and envision all the ways it could potentially fail.
Wow, okay. Facing the fear head on.
Exactly. And then they proactively put safeguards in place based on that exercise. It transforms the fear of failure from this paralyzing dread into a strategic exercise.
So it's not an emotional block anymore.
It becomes a planning tool.
That's incredibly powerful, turning the fear itself into a tool for prevention and strategic planning. So it sounds like this whole journey, it isn't really about forgetting the past, is it?
No, not at all.
It's about integrating it, learning from it, and then using those lessons, those tough lessons, to build a future, but not with that old panic, with true peace and confidence.
Precisely. It's a long game, for sure. But that shift from reactive panic to proactive peace, it's entirely possible. And as the sources demonstrate, it's actually common among those who achieve lasting success after a fall.
Okay, so as we bring this deep dive to a close, let's maybe reinforce that core truth revealed in our sources. Failure doesn't mean you are unworthy, it means you are learning. That's such a powerful reframe, isn't it?
It really is.
Most successful entrepreneurs you admire today, the ones you read about, they've failed, probably repeatedly.
Oh, absolutely. The stories are out there if you look.
They've launched flops, missed big trends, trusted the wrong people, lost thousands, sometimes millions. But they didn't let that failure define them. It didn't become their whole story.
No, they let it become their curriculum, their education.
Their curriculum. I like that.
And this synthesizes a crucial insight, I think. Healing that financial trauma, it isn't magically cured by suddenly getting a bigger income or even having a new business win, though those help.
Right. It's not just about the external success.
No, it's healed fundamentally by giving yourself permission to process what happened without shame. We keep coming back to that.
Yeah.
It's about grieving it if you need to, and
Mhm.
truly understanding deep down that that version of you did the best they could with the information they had. It's really an act of self-compassion.
That's what unlocks the path forward.
It seems to be. Yes, that's self-compassion.
And this connects directly to you, the listener, your potential experience. The research offers that truly powerful reframe. Past failure is not proof you're doomed. It's not a life sentence.
I don't know.
It's proof you were brave enough to try in the first place.
Which most people never do.
Exactly. And if you've been through financial hell, if you've experienced that kind of setback, and you're still standing, you're not broken. You're battle-tested.
Battle-tested. That's a great term for it. And it leads to that crucial shift in perspective from the source material. You didn't fail. You grew in public.
Grow in public. Wow.
Yeah. It might have been painful growth, but it was growth nonetheless. And this raises an important question, doesn't it? How can you harness that battle-tested wisdom,
Yeah.
that hard-earned growth? How do you use it for what comes next?
It really feels like it's time to write your comeback story. Maybe with a little more wisdom this time, perhaps a little more caution.
Sensible caution, yeah.
But definitely with a lot more courage built on experience. The challenge for you, listening, is to build that next chapter with peace, not panic.
Using everything you've learned.
Leveraging every single lesson you've gained along that tough road.